Cannabis industry gets together to learn, share, teach, and interact with individuals. And I am thrilled. My co-host, John Hartsell.
Hey, John Hartsell here.
From Dizpot.
How you guys doing?
A fantastic Arizona company that employs how many people?
32 here in this great state of Arizona and many in other states as
32 people. And support Dizpot because the more you support Dizpot, the more jobs stay in Arizona. And that's
right.
what I love. John and I have that in common.
Yeah.
Much love for that.
Hey, let's build a stronger economy here.
Get your mic a little closer.
How about right here? How's that?
But we have a couple of VIPs that are wandering
Nobody
in the crowd.
ever told me one time that I was not loud enough.
Yes, and it is my great honor to introduce both of them. Jim McMahon from the Chicago Bears. Or how do you like to be known now?
Well, I played for 6 other teams, but nobody ever mentions those.
Whoa, all right, let's count them down. What were the other six teams?
I went to the Chargers for a year. Then I went to Philadelphia for 3 years. Then I went to Minnesota for a year.
Were you behind Randall?
In 90, and then he got hurt opening game in 91, so I played 91.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I'm remembering.
We finished 10-6 and didn't go to the playoffs.
Wow.
So. Yeah, we had a damn good, probably the best defense.
Yeah.
It was the best defense in the league at that
no doubt
point.
About it.
And we also have Michael from the Arizona House of Representatives.
Yes. Yes.
So we grabbed him so we can get his impressions
From
about
the great legislative district 25 in Arizona, representing Buckeye down to Yuma, Representative Michael Carbone.
And Mike, we're going to get your impressions of MITA real quickly as we go. But I want to ask Jim one thing, because it's my great apology to everyone that I ever interview. St. Peter, you walk up to him in the pearly gates of heaven, and he said, Jim McMahon, who are you? What do you say? Like, what did you?
First of all, I'd like to be able to walk up there.
That's right.
It's been 14 months since I've walked normally.
One would think on the way up to the pearly gates that all wounds are healed.
Yeah, but I sung the Super Bowl thing.
I certainly hope that's going to happen.
Yes, sir. I do too.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
And I don't have any artificial parts in me right now. I'm missing a lot of my own, but I don't have anything that's artificial.
Do you think yet, or are you just not into the artificial parts?
No, I don't mind them.
Okay.
I mean, if they're going to help, I'm probably going to have to get a new shoulder soon.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this foot's going to take. I got another surgery scheduled right after our golf tournament on February 10th, and go in there and clean it out and see what's going on, because it's like I said, 14 months without walking it's really starting to drive me nuts.
You know, earlier we were interviewing Ricky, and I asked a question about his during his career, the cannabis, and how it came up during his career. But his response was about the fact that the NFL and what he was doing destroyed his body. There was a lot of destruction, and so can you talk about your relationship with cannabis and why it's so important to your recovery and your lifestyle now?
Well, it's a medicinal herb for one. It's not a drug. It's it's been demonized for over 100 years by our government, who's had a patent on this, for the same amount of time.
Right.
It's the only patented neuroprotectant in the world, I believe.
Wow.
And everybody has an endocannabinoid system in their bodies.
That's right.
We're supposed to be using this plant.
That's absolutely
We have receptors up and down our spine and in our brains for this plant. Why are they there? We don't have any opioid receptors. We don't have any cocaine receptors, but we have these receptors for this plant.
Yep.
And there's a reason for that.
They all feel good, but this one actually feels good and helps you recover.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I had 20 surgeries before this foot, so I got 22 now.
That's amazing.
And I know that helped me when I was recovering. They told me it was going to take me 2 years to play when they rebuilt my shoulder back in '86. I was playing in 10 months. And a lot of that was, I worked my ass off for one, but I used this plant every day, as often as I could. Back then, I never failed a drug test. We knew when we came to camp they were going to test us, and so all the guys that I hung around that liked to partake, we would stop June 1st.
The fridge.
We'd give ourselves 45 days to clean out. Right? Nobody'd ever fail. The only guys that failed were guys that really had a problem with cocaine.
Yeah.
Because that only stayed in your system 3 days.
That's right.
And when the test is and you still fail that, you got a problem.
Well, right. Well, it's hard.
And
to
only
stop.
one guy that I played with in all those years got busted for that. So.
Is that right?
So Jim, real quickly, and the exact same. I love this theme because our greatest gladiators on that field, that NFL field, the strongest, the best, and using cannabis for therapeutic, medicinal, balancing reasons. And I love the fact that you're out there advocating for people's rights for it and to improve access to it. Me, for example, I went to law school in the 90s, and I was like a Nancy Reagan, brain being fried, just say no drugs kind of guy. And
I learned it by watching you, Dad.
When I started advocating in 2000, when I studied and analyzed substance use, substance abuse, and cannabis, 2012, 2015, all my buddies from law school started coming to me because I posted on Facebook and LinkedIn and stuff. And I'm like, and they're saying, Demitri, we used cannabis to focus in law school. Thank you for advocating. Ray Flores, sorry, Ray Flores, I just announced you publicly.
You're outing people?
No,
Uh-oh.
Maybe
He's just going to get kicked off his social media now.
No. He has 500 employees. He runs El Charro down in Tucson. He's a badass motherfucker, top-notch businessman, business Republican. He came to me at a basketball game at the U of A in like 2015. He said, Demitri, I love your advocacy because I've been using cannabis for medicinal reasons for my lower back for like 10 years. And now I have it medicinally since 2010, 11, 12 in Arizona. And thank God, because I used to be getting it illegally. And now I'm just using it medicinally to relax and for the pain in my spine. So I just want to introduce, we have a huge VIP here.
No.
And which is good, because this is very important for the viewer and stuff. This is your first MITA event. You're exploring the industry. You have an understanding from Illinois. Introduce yourself to the audience and let them know what you think of everything you've experienced.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the huge VIP, but the gentleman to my far left here is my childhood hero.
You meant your near left.
No, yeah. My far left. Hartsell. My far left. I was very clear, and I can't wait to let my son know who's 13, because and I mean that. You're the reason why I watched football, you and Peyton and those guys.
Oh, no doubt.
Obviously,
how old were you in 1985?
I was in 6th grade.
Yeah, all right, I was 7.
Yes.
And I mean, oh my God, I'm like, it's blowing my mind.
Man, I'm feeling really, really old now, boys.
Well,
you know that.
That's awesome.
You are so
young.
old.
Well, that's when I knew it was time to retire. In '96 was my last year with the Packers, and I'd be playing dominoes with these young kids, and they'd always, hey man, I was in junior high when you guys won the Super Bowl.
Right.
This and that. I'm like, well, it's time for me to go then.
Yeah.
I love the football, but I was all about the chicks loved you. I'm like, this is my hero in high school. Sorry, but you were saying, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'll answer your question if that's okay.
No, go ahead.
Michael Carbone, I represent District 25, as John said, back in Buckeye and Yuma. Been here almost 9 years. I'm a Chicago native, but I love this state, and I moved out here for the quality of life because all I did was work. Didn't vacation. I thought it was all about work, money, But Arizona's been phenomenal for my family, and so being here and then coming into this or being in the session for only 3 weeks, and I was invited to this. I think it was this morning or last week, and I told my secretary, I was like, yeah, I'll go. And and I feel that's what we need to.
Fantastic.
Well, we got to hear both sides, and we got to talk to everybody. And it's just like I always say, kitchen table politics, right? We just sit there. When I talk about my family, with my mom and my dad and my wife, that's how you get it done. Yeah. And I'm a business guy by trade. So when we talk about
what kind of business would you?
I was in real estate and construction back in Illinois, and then when the market crashed, I got into consulting. So.
Okay.
But then I came out here, and I've worked in schools and municipalities.
Yeah,
for
John, he doesn't know what Jimmy Hoffa's buried. Let's move on.
No. So anyway, that's boring stuff. But but I'm glad I'm here.
Guys, and nobody knows where Hoffa is. Come on now.
You don't know where a lot of folks are, but
okay. Go.
But and I've been fighting. I'd say fighting, but I've had an understanding, especially back in Illinois in 2010 when they did pass medical marijuana. At the minimum, that should have been passed because of the medicinal benefits. And for over 20-something years since college, I always would tell folks, my grandma in the 90s got cancer, so we had to get her, some smoke so she can feel better and deal with that. And she was successful in that. But, we can put chemicals in our body, and I know I don't mean to preach, but we put chemicals, and I've been saying this since the 90s. But we can't do something that's been natural, been around for thousands of years. Yeah. And I think it's that simple.
I'll tell you this, too, and your willingness to come and participate in this event is something we do at our company. We're a consumption-friendly environment. And so it could be uncomfortable for people who don't consume cannabis to be in that environment. We try to make it comfortable for anyone and everyone. If you don't consume cannabis, it doesn't mean that we're not accepting of you being there. We will hire you. We want you to be there. And it's not about being a consumer. It's about being a believer in what cannabis represents, not only as a medicine, but also as a way to let some steam off. And importantly, for the state of Arizona, it's an economic driver.
21,377 card-carrying members, employees of the Arizona cannabis industry.
That's right. Employed just by dispensaries.
More than Raytheon, more than all the truckers.
Yeah, that's
right now.
Yeah.
And you never really have a problem at these events. You notice that? There's never any fights. There's never any,
Nothing but love.
You're here.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny you mention that.
Jimmy, you look good, by the way.
Demitri.
You look fucking good.
Demitri
Those
having
glasses.
So I just lost 100 pounds. I got rid of my chick, so.
Demitri having this event is about
Love those glasses.
everybody in the industry having to look each other in the eyeballs. And I can almost see your eyeballs through your sunglasses.
I can see his eyeballs.
If I had them off, they'd be closed. These lights are.
I know it.
No, look closely.
Can they get any brighter? Jesus Christ, I think I'm getting the third-degree burns over here.
Well, I saw you putting on sunscreen a little while ago. But it's everybody's got to look each other in the eyeballs. And so once a month, we all got to be around each other.
Okay, look me in the eye. The one that I can open barely.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
I can't open that one.
And
Not in these lights.
Since Michael is here, and somebody will be watching this, I want to just throw this out there. So the reason we created MITA was so that the community, media, politicians, citizens who are interested in the industry could come interact with the members of the cannabis industry, inventory specialists, supervisors,
Consumers.
managers, CFOs, CEOs, owners, bud tenders with a dream, Arizona
McMahon,
citizens, Arizona
legendary
voters.
football players.
He's a special treat.
Well,
Okay.
we've got a brand ourselves, a
Yeah.
Revenant brand. So that's why we're
we
involved.
better talk about revenue.
But we'll talk about it in a second. The reason we created
you
MITA,
want to
though.
talk about it now?
Well, no, we're going to talk
All
about
right, in a
Revenant.
minute.
Yeah, and our big email blast will be about Revenant, and everybody's going to go to the Gridiron Great thing. We're going to get that.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah,
I know
the
it.
promotion is coming, but let me talk about one thing, because I appreciate the fact that you're here. One of the things that we did is I created this environment so that individuals can come learn and understand. These are members of a community. These are employees. These are individuals who use cannabis for therapeutic, medicinal reasons, and they're still concerned about individual excellence, about working, about doing things in the community and being very productive. And so when a member of the legislature shows up, whether it's a senator, we have random people come through again now and then. We usually invite them. I didn't even know you were going to be here tonight. We really want them to understand what's going on and that these are good people. And I had those misconceptions. In 2010, 2012, when I got involved in the industry, I was like, those clever hippies figured out a politically viable way to get high, And then 3 years of studying and hanging out with the normal guys, I'm like, well, it's just a plant. It's just an herbal remedy.
What are we doing?
My grandma has a medicine man in her village in Oaxaca.
That's right.
And there's 6,000 forms of medicinal plants across the fucking country.
What
the hell is this?
We've been extracting cinnamon for thousands of years to put into dentine gum.
Yeah.
Why aren't we extracting cannabis to put into a vape?
Nonsensical.
That's right.
So I appreciate you being here.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate
Thank
you coming to explore and understand and learn. And it's fantastic. And Jim, of course, we are great supporters.
Whoa. Look, man.
It's about you, John.
You just did your lobbying.
Back to you.
I'm going to do my lobbying.
Are you going to lobby?
Yeah, I'm going to lobby.
I wasn't lobbying. I was educating.
I'm going to lobby right now.
Oh, here
What are you
comes.
lobbying for?
Yeah,
There it
well,
comes.
All right, I'm going to tell you what. You're going to hear so much at the legislature throughout this legislative session, many different interests around the cannabis industry. One of the most important interests right now is not only our consumer, but Arizona-born businesses. There are a lot of Arizona-born brands and businesses that should have an advantage in this marketplace through tax advantages and incentives.
We're all about Arizona here, Jim.
That's right. That should
Hey,
have.
we're here in Arizona now, so
That's
we're happy.
exactly right. And so something to think about. I would love to come and chat with you. And
Absolutely,
and give you some
I would love
ideas
to.
about that.
Yeah, and if I could add one thing, look at the growth of this state. That's why everyone's moving here. Look at the Taiwanese semiconductor plant, $43 billion investment in the industries. Everyone's coming here. There's a reason for it.
Have you driven by up there on the 303 where they're building that place?
No.
There's about 30 cranes up there putting this thing together. I can't imagine the conductor of that situation with 30 trains moving around and all the shit coming in and out.
That's past way above my pay grade there, kid.
So Revenant, how did you come up with the brand, and what's the situation you have in Arizona?
Well, the name Revenant came about. Kyle Turley actually started this company. He's an ex-ball player himself.
He's giant.
Yes,
and
he's a
played
big
for the
man.
Chiefs at one point.
You know Kyle Turley?
I'm a big Chiefs fan.
You know Kyle Turley?
He played offensive line for the Saints and the Rams, and
the Chiefs for just a short period of time.
And then Eben Britton, who also played in the NFL, played for the Bears and I believe Carolina, I think. I'm not positive. But Kyle started the company, called me about it, and I was trying to get into the business for a long time. I moved out here in Arizona in 2010,
yes, sir.
right when it became medically legal. So I got my card right away. I got off all the opioids I was still taking. That was how many years after I retired.
Hey, John, give him a paw for me on that one.
I hadn't had one until my surgery 14 months ago, and I tried to go without it, but then it got infected, so it really hurt.
Yeah.
But the brand came about. The name came about. He was watching that movie, The Revenant, with Leonardo DiCaprio, and he gets mauled by the bear, and then they got the dream sequence with the Indian guy giving him medicine. We believe that was cannabis. That's what brought him back to life, right? And he believes this plant brought all of us back to life. That's how the name came about.
Right on.
And he's talked in front of Congress, in front of the NFL, everybody in the NFL, and they're still. They always talk about, guys get busted for taking a cold medication that had something that was on the bad list, right? And they say, well, you're responsible for what goes in your body. But yet they can't put what's good for their body into their body.
That's exactly
But
right.
they can take all the damn pills that they, big farmers,
Shots and
they
pills.
are so involved in everything in this country
And that they advertise all day long on all these fucking television stations.
But you
Sorry,
can
go ahead.
you can take as many pills as you want. They'll give you as many as you want. And those things just screw you up. They don't do anything for you. They mask pain. That's it.
In fact, they're incentivized to give you all those pills, right? And
the doctors are incentivized to prescribe them.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's
Well,
exactly right.
what's bad is they start kids out early on Ritalin and all this stuff because they have ADD or ADHD. So they condition them at an early age. They're kids. Put their ass outside. Let them run around.
Ball. Give
Get
them
them off.
soccer
Get
ball.
them off the damn video
I'm
screen
for
and the
letting
TV or the phone. Go climb a tree.
I'm for lawn darts coming back for kids.
Jim,
Yeah, I've got 6 grandkids right now, and
Is
I
that
say
right?
get their ass
Amen.
out playing stuff.
Jim, in the 90s, I was a youth counselor, the head youth counselor at the JCC in Tucson, and I was shocked by how many kids we had to give their drugs at lunchtime. I'm like, give these kids fucking a soccer ball.
Yeah,
Give
that's
them
how
a
they condition
racquetball.
them. That's why we got a whole generation of. I was going to say pussies, but
Well,
I guess I did.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not woke here. We're not woke here.
Everybody
exactly
had to get a ribbon. Everybody had to participate. There's no reward for excellence anymore in this country.
I know the people. In
Sorry,
my,
it's
in my
ridiculous.
Jim Big Man 101.
The people in my company that have success and continue to stay there, we have a very low turnover rate, are the kids that rejected participation awards.
Poor John.
Right? Ain't no trophy for just showing up. There's a trophy for excelling in what you're doing. Now, feeling proud of what you've done and feeling good about getting to the place, that's one thing. Getting a trophy for showing up should never happen.
So
I agree.
If I may take a minute,
There's some kids that just can't do this sport. The parent. That's why I could never coach my kids growing up. I said, look, I cannot deal with those other parents. I would sit as far away as I could at their hockey and their baseball games, and I just couldn't listen to it.
That's right.
So Jim,
I want to say, hey, look, your kid sucks. He's probably real smart. Maybe he'll be a doctor or a lawyer, but he can't play.
Yeah. Right.
John does the same thing at his workplace all the time. Hey, you just suck at this.
No, I do not.
It's okay.
Hey,
That's
That's what this generation's missing. Tough love.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's just everybody just handed stuff, and now that the government's handing them checks, and it's like.
So Jim, I have great respect for everything you've done. I even shuffled in high school, but we don't get there. Go ahead.
Let's see it. I want to see it.
Jim got annoyed last time. He got annoyed. Can I? No.
Go ahead. Shake that ass.
Well, they
whatever you
call
gotta
me
do.
Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like making romance. Okay, sorry, Jim. Okay, so but here, you guys are great, tremendous, built tremendous thing. I have a feeling that Michael is not. He's just beginning at politics. He might be governor in 4 years. Honestly.
Oh, stop that.
No, he's disciplined. He's calm.
Yeah.
You know, he's listening. He's watching.
He still has hair.
He's a business Republican. He's migrating. He's a bridge builder, and he's here learning.
He's from Chicago.
I
mean, Republicans in Chicago are Democrats here.
But I just want to hear Michael.
I just don't say that too loud, man. No.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But what
You're
do
going to get blamed for something they're doing.
you have been here quietly for 3 hours now or whatever. How long have you ever been here at MITA? You've joined Jim and you've joined John. Great businessman, great athlete, great businessman as well. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking right now?
So, I'll kind of, as I'm driving up with my truck, I'm like, where the hell do I park?
Okay.
There's no parking. I go, what is this? What? I don't even know what I'm coming to. I mean, I knew, but so I walk in, and I'll tell you right now, I'm like, I don't know if I'm overdressed or feel old, and I'm not old, but.
Yeah, well,
No, but you
If it
look good, man.
If it wasn't
But-
so damn cold, I'd be in shorts and flip-flops
Yeah, right.
right now.
yeah, that's
No.
right.
I live in that.
But no, listen.
It's Chicago
this
cold
is-
the last couple days.
Yeah, well, it's snow too. But no, I love the vibe. It's been easy going. Everyone's been friendly. Did not expect any of this, so I'm honored and humbled that you guys invited me up here. And this is it's a good experience. I think more folks need to see this, and we as people should not even be afraid to listen to another person's point of view.
It's not a bunch of stoners just hanging out.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's a crazy thing because over the years, the term "don't judge a book by its cover" really takes effect in this industry. The guy wearing the suit and walking around the room could be the wrong guy, and the guy with dreadlocks and a hoodie could be the right guy, or vice versa. It's an amazing thing.
We got.
This is my business partner, Jeff.
Yeah, this is Jeff.
Hey, nice to meet you, Jeff.
Another great Arizona businessman.
What's up, Jeff?
Now, what I love about MITA is that MITA's filled with like businessmen
Jeff's a little older than you,
and employees. And this is what is, I try to. I don't want to get into details. You and I will have a long conversation about the nimnuts at the UFCW, but every employee is working hard. And they have dreams and they have ambitions, and then there's owners and all this stuff going on, and that's what we're about here at MITA. About learning about the industry, the business, and the culture of the business. And it's very exciting. So we appreciate you coming to observe and ask questions and talk to people. We encourage you to invite your fellow representatives and senators to understand. This is incredible, by the way.
Listen.
I mean, how do you think it would be down at the legislature to have folks that have the kind of credibility that Jim has down there and interacting with legislators? It would be an important thing, right?
I mean, every day we have folks coming down. I think someone with his stature would be very welcomed and received. It's sometimes we need the athletes or the elites of our societies to come and kind of push things forward to get people to listen. And then sometimes because they have that big voice, where you and I might not have that. So I think it'd be well received. I think I would encourage it. We shouldn't be afraid of it. Gosh.
Jim, you want to cruise down to the legislature and hang out for
Where is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Come.
I tell you what, over there at the House of Representatives, they've got a third-floor lounge between the two hallways where the good candy is. I bet Representative Carbone would show us around and take us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to go down there.
I
and
would
talk
love
to
to
you.
have you as guests,
Okay, look,
for sure.
So again, happen at MITA. Jim, Mike, you guys exchange phone numbers. Please invite me and John as well to come down. But you guys come down. You probably meet the governor too. I don't know. What's your name? Katie Hobbs.
Governor Hobbs.
I think I ran her first campaign for the state legislature.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
back in the
So
day.
it's a bunch of politicians and stuff, but they do need to hear that it's a plant-based medicine. They need to understand what's going on. So if you guys exchange numbers and can arrange for him to come down and say hello to some of the reps and senators, that'd be a fantastic result. And
I'd be happy to do
something
that,
happened
yeah.
at MITA.
And
So.
Yeah, I would be honored.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's cool. And of course, folks, we got to wrap it up because we are running close to the time. But closing words, Jim?
What's that?
Any
Closing words?
Yes.
Well, I was just going to go to the bar, grab another beer.
That's right.
Famous closing
Good
words.
closing remarks.
Let's go to the bar and grab another beer. I love it.
I'm a little parched after that joint I just smoked out there.
John, closing thoughts.
Honored to be around two legends, and future legend and legend. I'm going to have to learn the Super Bowl shuffle so I can do it in front of you the next time we're playing
No,
golf.
you don't. You don't have to do that, brother.
Next time we're playing golf down at Vegas Country Club, man. I can't wait to see you down there.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But wait, what was your favorite part? What was your favorite part of the Super Bowl shuffle?
Oh, gosh. Oh, man, you're putting me on the spot.
Mike Singletary not having any kind of clue of how to move his body.
Yeah, he was kind of stone cold there, right?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of dancers in that group, I'll tell you that.
They call me sweetness.
A lot of heavy feet.
But I did appreciate your knack with the ladies. That was important. We'll leave that alone, though. Any closing thoughts?
Hey, you know what? I thank you for inviting me up here, excuse me, and be able to talk to y'all. And you know what? And I encourage for more folks to come out and be involved in these events. I'm just happy I got that invitation. I responded to it. So
We're happy to have you.
Man,
Look forward to some good times down there for the legislature.
yes, sir.
You've done a
Wake
great
these
job.
people up.
Oh, thanks, man.
Absolutely.
John.
So, folks, transparency, accountability, walking through life with very soft shoulders, with no weight on your shoulders, just telling the truth as it is.
You got drunk tonight. Holy shit, you're drunk.
No, I'm so.
Yeah,
Alcohol, man, it's a drug.
Well, I got you
You
now.
know?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize.
All
We
right,
should ban it or something.
Well, let's have a few drinks again sometime.
We'll hang out and have a beer at the
Yeah.
bar. So,
All right.
folks, thank you for joining us again at MITA. We're here. We're next week, February 22nd. Support these gentlemen's brands and these companies because it keeps them going, and they're willing to talk and be transparent and accountable and learn and teach and stuff. And that's what life is all about. It's about community, wherever you can find it. Thanks, folks.
Bye-bye.